Hello friends and Assalamualaikum. Welcome to my channel IBL Designing Developer. My name is Inshal Beg. I am a full stack developer and graphic designer. Today I will show you how to build one iMessage clone in React.js, and I hope you will also enjoy this clone like you're enjoying my previous clones of React.js, and you are also enjoying my previous clone of React Native and many other clones of like Mern also. But first of all, you have to just hit the subscribe button. Then after that, you have to also hit the notification bell, from which you will be getting all the notifications of my video when I will be uploading. And from that, it will be also help for you, and it will be also help for me, because from that you will be learning more new things, more new clones, and more new project which I will be uploading in future. And I hope you will enjoy that things also which I'll be uploading. So just now we'll be just starting with our iMessage clone in React.js. So here you can see I've just built this iMessage clone in React.js here. So here in this iMessage clone, you have to do one thing, like first of all, here it will be just coming a login page of that. So it is not coming mine because I've just already signed in here. So because of that, here it is not coming. But I'll be doing one thing, I'll be copying this URL and pasting. So you can see that you will be having a URL of that, like it will be having a login. So here if I write login, press simply here, you can see you'll be having a login page here, or you can say here register, press enter here. So you can see you'll be getting a page of that. So here you can also link like that. So you can see here is our iMessage clone. First of all, like I've shown you, there will be like sign in page. You have to just sign in with Google, and you can just sign in with any of your account of Google here. So you can see we are just getting many of the chats here in like our this in iMessage clone. So here you first of all you will be getting your icon, and from that pressing you will be just sign in, or you will be getting on your sign in page. You can see there is iMessage. If I press sign in, so you can sign in with any of your Google account here you want to. So you can see that it is coming. So you can see it is just already signed in, because here I was just using this one Gmail here. So because of that, it automatically taken to this Gmail of that. So if you press this icon, so it will be taken to sign in page again, and you can just change your like things like that again. So you can see now we are getting these things here. So now here when you've done with that, we is just getting that. So simply after it, we are getting an input box, means a search box here. Here you can just search any of your name here, or any of your chat name, but it will be not appearing on the screen because here it is not linked with that things which is just coming underneath. So here after that, we are also getting a icon from which you can just write your chat name here. So if I just press, so you can see here it is coming like please enter a chat name. So you can write your name, like if I write hello world, press enter, so it will be just add in this chat name. So you can just write with their chat. So there is many of the chats, you can see that, which I've just built, and you can see there are many of the other chats which you can just see here. So here you can see there are many of the chats here which you can just work with. If I go to the top, you can see it was my chat which I was just created. If I show you, so here if I go to the top, and then I'll be going to the top again, you can see there is my which I've just created here. So when you've done with that, if I just go to the top here, and you can see we are just getting many of the like chats here. So if I just go to the top here, you can see there is again. So you can see how many of the other things we are just having in that, so you can work with here. Then this test, I've just also built that here. So you can just test here by pressing. So you can see we are getting a test name here, and you can just write anything in that, because here we are just getting these things, and you can also chat with anything one here. But this search box is not here because we have not linked with our chats here, so they will be not coming. So if I write any of the like iMessage, like if I write hello world, press enter, you can see your message has been added here, and there is also coming the date and the time when you have just added your message. You can see that, and it is popping up like React animation. If I show you, if I write hello, you can see it is popping up with the help of React animation, and you can see how cool looking is that. If I write hello guys, press enter, you can see it is just popping up with a cool animation here. So you can just work with that things there, and you can see how good looking is that. So when you've done with that all, just you can do one thing now here, you can add many other things here, and then the user can also see your like this messages you are just having here. You can see how good looking is that. So if I just come here, and then if I just go here, and then if I just write hello, press enter, so you can see it will be added here. So you can see how good looking is that. And here if I also write, so here it will be also coming that. So here it will be just coming these things, and you can just here add your like comments. So you can see how good looking is that. So now when you've done with that, here you can see that here it is coming these things here, and then there is also coming the date time which when you have added that here, and then it will be just your icon will be coming, because right, you have just written that comment here, means you have written this message, so your icon will be just coming here. So you can see how good looking is that to make these things here, and you can just work with that here. If I just write hello here also, then here will be also coming, and if I write here also like hello guys, press enter, you can see here will be also coming. So like that you can just work with that things here, and you can see how good looking is that. So now here when you've done with that, I'll be just doing one thing now. Here you can see we are getting our message here, then here also we are just getting a message like that, so you can work with that. And if I just go to the top here, so here also we are just getting these things here. If I just come here, so you can see here we are also getting these things, and you can just see how good looking is that looking. So if I just go to the top here, and you can see here it is also coming your message which I have just written here. And then if I just come underneath, and here also we have just written the message which is just coming. And you can also go to this code clone and check here, there are many of like things which you have just built. So you can see how good looking is that, and your message will be just popping up at the top. So you can see how good looking is that. We'll be just building this iMessage clone in React.js. So for building this iMessage clone in React.js, first of all you have to just open your command prompt, and in this clone we will be not using Firebase in that, because it is with React.js, and when we are building that, so here we don't use in some clones we don't use Firebase. So because of that, in this clone also I'll be not using Firebase here. So for building a iMessage clone, first of all you have to do one thing. You have to write cd, and here I'll be just writing my like React app. So here first of all I'll be defining the location where I have to just make my React app. So simply you can define the location of like localdex e if I define. Then when you've done that, just you can write here like npx create, because here we are creating a React app, and when we are creating a React app, you have to just write a command like npx create. Then you have to just write dash React, and you can write here like dash React app. So when you've written that, it means like it will be creating your React app, means it will be just npx command means like it will be creating your React app, and npm command means like it will be running your React app in your local host. So we have to just create our React app. So there it is coming like npx which we have written. So now it will be just creating this npx create React app which we have written, because if you want to create our React app in React.js, React Redux, Mern, or in React Native also, in all the things which we are getting React name, because in Mern with the R we are getting React.js, then React Native obviously we are getting React name in React.js also, and then in React Redux also. So because of that we just say that React app. If I just go forward here, and if I just build the clone, so we are building iMessage clone. So simply I'll be writing iMessage clone, because I am building in React.js. If you are building in React Redux, so write np iMessage that React Redux. So if you are just working with like you can say if you are working with Mern, so you can just write iMessage-Mern to just build in Mern. So when you've done that, just I'll be erasing that. And if you are just working with React Native, so you can write iMessage-React-Native. So here you can work with like that. So here I'm building in React.js, so simply I'll be writing iMessage-clone like that, because I'm building in React.js. Now I'll be simply pressing enter here, and you can see it will be just take some time, and it will be just create your React app here. You can see that it is just creating your iMessage clone here. So you can see now it is fetching it is just fetching the data, and it is collecting some of the other things which we need like React DOM, React scripts, and it is also just collecting CRA templates which will be needing to work with these things, and it is also installing some of the libraries and packages also which will be just working with that. And you can see how good looking is that here, and it is also just working with React app in that, and then it is just in C users install iMessage clone which we are working with that. So this is the folder in this iMessage clone here, you can see. So how good looking is that. So when you've done with that things, there you can see we are also getting iMessage, and we are also getting a command like npx create React app. So when you've done with that here, so you can see it is just collecting and fetching other things. And if you are just new this video, so I'm telling for them like we will be not using this Firebase in this video, because we have just also used Firebase in the previous videos, and in this iMessage clone we don't have to use Firebase here. So simply I'll be doing pressing enter here, so we can just see it is working or not. So it is just checking the installable status, it is working or not. Now I'll be pressing enter, so it will just move forward and work with. So it is again like resolving with new modules here which we have to work with, and simply I'll be pressing enter here also, then here also, so I can check it is working or not. So when you've done with that, just you have to minimize that here, and now till here I hope you understand. So when you've done with that all things, just you have to do one thing, like I'll be just going here, and then I'll be opening my VS Code here. So just open VS Code, and you can see it will be take some time to just open. and it is now installing, you can see. So now you can see your VS Code has been opened, so I can zoom in so you can see my codes here which I am working with, and you can see it is just create. So I'll be just minimizing that. So here I'll be going back, so it is not so much zoom we have to do, so it is good. So I'll be closing this files here, and if I show you the folder which I'm just creating in local disk E, so here it is my folder. If I just go to the top, and here I'll be going to top again, and then here iMessage clone, where it is. Okay, it is not coming here. If I just go to my local disk E, iMessage clone. Okay, so if I just go to the top again and then check about my, okay, so why it is not coming, I want to check that. Okay, so it is coming. Okay, so it is creating in C drive, but I have just selected. Okay, so it is my mistake here. I have just done the mistake. Okay, so here I have to just write only E, because here we have to just create in that. So I'll be simply coming here, then I'll be writing E, and here I'll be writing that to like npx create react app again. Then here I'll be writing same thing, like here we are building in, like I'm telling you, we are just building. Okay, so why I'm writing Python, we are just like building iMessage clone. So here I'll be writing iMessage dash clone. So simply when you've done that, I'll be doing one thing like pressing enter. So when you've done that, you can see it is just here it is coming like fetch metadata, and it is just collecting that all things here, and now it will be good to go if I just show you. So here we have written that. So now it is just again installing that with the modules which we need to, and it is creating our React app with 4.03 version which we want to just work with. So simply I'll be pressing enter, so it can just work with here these things. So you can see now when you've done with that, here you have to do one thing. Now here I'll be just coming underneath, and then I'll be just changing that to like I'll be hitting save. But here if I just close that, and if I show you the folder which is just installing, so I'll be going to local disk E, then I'll be just scrolling down here, and then if I go to up, so till here our folder is not coming, because here till here it is not installing these things here. Okay, so here when you've done with that all thing, just you have to do one thing here, like you can just create your own file of React if it is not working. So here I'll be closing this command prompt here. So now here I was just closing my command prompt and it was not closing, so because of that I have to just stop the video here. So now I just opened that, and now you can see we have just here you have to create your own folder. So if I just come here, and you can see we are getting the app.js file in that. So here when you will be getting these files, you will be creating that, and you will be getting this folder here of node modules, and then in this node modules you will be containing some of the libraries packages which you will be needing to work with your React app, and many other things which you will be just needing to work with that. And you will be also just having like many other things there, like testing libraries also which you want to work with. And if I just come here, you can see we are also getting this public folder. In this public folder you will be also containing some of the logos icon, and you will be also containing one index.html file which just helps you to just run that things in localhost. So you have to just use that to just work with. And if I just go to my index.html file, in which you will be just linking, we have linked many of the like logos here, like this logo 192.png and manifest.json file, which we have also linked that in the here in index.html file, and you can see here we have just linked that, and it's good to go. So you can see we have just done with that things there, and I'll be pressing backspace here, and here when you've done that, just I'll be going to file and pressing save. So it will be just good, and we have linked with that. And now we have not linked this logo 512.png because it was just really big logo, and there was not enough space to just contain this big enough logo. So because of that, we are just using another logo of that. So when you've done with that things here, simply I'll be just closing till here, and I hope you understand that all things now. So I'll be doing one thing now. Here I'll be just coming, and then here till here I hope you understand that all things. Now we have to just open a folder which is called source folder, and now in this source folder I'll be writing codes of like CSS here. So you have to just delete these three files because we don't need that. Okay, so here I'll be deleting and delete. So when you've done that, so you'll be not getting these files. So I have to delete logo.svg from here, because in this logo.svg we don't have to just use that, we have to use our own logo of iMessage clone. So because of that I have delete, and if you want to just put that you can also do, but we have to use our own logo of iMessage. So because of that I was deleting. And in this public folder I have not deleted the React logos, because here it was linked with the index.html file and it was in public folder. And in public folder we don't have to just write any of the codes or things like that, we have to just write that all things in like React needs in this source folder. So when you've done with that, here simply I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be just closing this folder here by pressing this close icon. Go to app.js file and delete all the things from here by just erasing that. You will be erasing. So when you will be erasing that, it will be things like that. It will be coming if I just erase in that. So here it will be doing like that, and when you will be getting this, go to app.css, and from here also I'll be deleting here the things, because here I'll be using my own tag. So simply erase that, and you can see we have just erased that all things. Go to file, press save to just save that things. Go here, and now we have to just create a tag which should be like array. Then you have to write here like filter and just create a app tag. So when you've done that, you have to just do like that. And now when you've done with that thing, I'll be just going here, and then I'll be just creating a tag. You can say that to like class.floor, and I'll be writing that to array. So when you've done that, just I'll be closing this here. Simply I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be just coming underneath and changing this to like view, and here I'll be changing that to area equal. And when you've done that, I'll be changing that to filter, and when you've done with that, I'll be closing here, and then I'll be changing this to like floor not random. And when you're done with that things there, I'll be changing this to a tag which should be like random, which we have already done. So I'll be now writing that to like area. So when you've done that, just I'll be closing that here again. Now when you've done with that things there, simply I'll be doing one thing here, like I'll be coming underneath here, and then I'll be changing that to like area tag again. Then here I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming here, writing equal to area, and then I'll be closing that here. Simply I'll be coming now again, creating random dot floor, and here I'll be writing that again, and then changing that to like class. So when you've done that, I'll be closing that here, and then when you've done with that things, I'll be just coming here again. But here I'll be doing one thing, I'll be erasing that from here, and then I'll be changing that to class here and writing dot here. So it is good. So when you've done with that here, simply I'll be coming now underneath and then changing that to like nav bar. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing area, and here I'll be changing that to like a tag which should be app. But we have just already done, so I'll be writing like flow in that. So when you've done that, close here, but here I'll be not closing that here. So simply I'll be doing one thing, like closing here, then I'll be changing that to floor, and here I'll be writing that to like app, and then I'll be writing that to another thing which should be array. So when you've done that, just I'll be closing that here, and when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming here again, then I'll be changing that to event, change that to nav bar, and then I'll be writing random. So when you've done with that, I'll be just closing here and then changing that to like array, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing floor dot and change that to like event. So when you've done that, close here, and then here I'll be just coming here and writing it to like user, and then I'll be changing that to like user. So when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like filter which we have defined. So here I'll be writing name equal, and when you've done that, I'll be writing nav bar, and here when you've done with that thing there, I'll be just coming underneath, and then I'll be changing that to floor again. Then when you've done with that, I'll be changing that to a tag which should be class, and here I'll be also writing another tag which should be just user. So when you've done that, I'll be just closing that here, and here I'll be just coming underneath, and then when you've done with that, I'll be changing that to like version, but here I'll be writing that simply like that version. So when you've done that, I'll be moving forward here also, and then I'll be just changing this to like name, and here when you've done that all things, just I'll be coming here again, then I'll be changing this to like before I have just written that all things. So here now I'll be writing view, and then when you've done that, I'll be changing this to like app which we have already done. Now I'll be writing here class, close here, then here you have to just come now, and now here I'll be writing that to floor, and when you've done that, just I'll be now writing that to a tag which should be like view dot array. So simply when you've done with that things, I'll be just closing this here, and here I'll be just going to file and pressing save button to just save that things there. And now you can see we have done with that. So when you've done with that all thing, just you have to do one thing here, like simply go to your app.css file to just work with that. And now here I'll be just writing this sign like that, and now I'll be defining margin here like 0 pixel. Then I'll be also writing here like padding which should be 0 pixel. Then right here like box sizing, border box. Then I'll be also writing that to like justify content which should be in center. So when you've done that, I'll be writing align items which should be in center. So when you've done with that thing there, I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming underneath, creating display block, then I'll be changing that to like text align in center. And when you've done that, I'll be changing that to a tag which should be like float into left. So here I'll be writing that, and when you've done that, I'll be writing now another tag which should be like font style which will be normal. So when you've done that all thing, just I'll be writing text justify which should be inherit, and here we have done that, so I'll be just coming here, creating font size 14 pixel and also creating font weight 500, and when you've done that I'll be writing font family also, which should be like font serial, comma, sans serif. So when you've done that, I'll be now writing that to like border 1 pix solid white, and here when you've done with that thing there, I'll be now writing border color white and create that to like color which should be black. So when you've done with that things here, I'll be now writing that to like border radius 10 pixel, and here I'll be writing that to like border left which should be 100 pixel, and now when you've done that I'll be writing border right which should be 100 pixel, create that to like border top 100 pixel, and when you've done with that thing here I'll be writing border bottom which should be 100 pixels. So when you've done with that thing here I'll be writing like border style which should be none. So here when you've done with that thing here I'll be now writing that to like border and change that to border width 100 pixel and change that to like line height also which should be 100 pixel, and when you're done with that here I'll be writing width 100 pixel and create that to like height which should be 100 pixel, and when you're done with that here I'll be now writing like border none, and when you're done with that I'll be changing that to like outline none, and here I'll be also writing that to like list style which should be none. So when you're done with that here I'll be writing list style type which should be none. So when you're done with that I'll be changing that to a tag which should be like flex direction now which should be column. So when you're done with that thing here I'll be writing flex wrap which should be wrap reverse. So here when you've done that I'll be writing flex flow column, then create that to flex spaces content, and here I'll be also writing flex grow inherit, and when you've done that I'll be changing that to flex shrink inherit. So when you've done that I'll be writing direction inherit, then I'll be changing that to like background which should be white, and here when you've done that I'll be changing that to like background color which should be white. So when you've done that all things, just I'll be writing background and change that to like background position which should be like in center, and when you've done with that thing there I'll be coming here again, creating background position dash x which should be in center, create that to like background position y. So here I'll be writing that background position dash y in center. So when you've done that all things, just I'll be writing now background attachment which should be fixed, and here when you've done that I'll be now writing like to background size which should be cover, and when you've done that I'll be changing that to like background, and when you've done that I'll be changing that to like background clip content box, and I'll be also writing that to like background origin which should also be content box, and when you've done that change that to background, change here like background repeat which should be repeat, and when you've done with that here I'll be changing that to background blend mode which should be burnt color burnt. So here when you've done with that things here I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming underneath and creating that to like background, and here I'll be writing, first of all I'll be erasing, then I'll be writing background image now here. So just I'll be writing background image which should be like URL, and here in this URL I'll be changing that to like background here. So just write here background.jpg. So when you've done with that things here I'll be just coming and I'll be writing here like name index which should be current. So when you've done that all things, just I'll be now writing that to like nav left which should be current, and when you've done with that thing here I'll be also writing that to like nav right current. So when you've done that I'll be writing nav up current. So just write here like nav up which should be current. So when you've done with that thing there I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming here creating nav down which should be current, and when you've done that I'll be writing here like padding 12 pixel and create that to like padding left which should be 12 pixel, and when you've done that I'll be writing padding right 12 pixel and create that to like padding top which should be 12 pixel, and when you've done that I'll be writing padding bottom. So here I'll be writing that to 12 pixel and create that to margin 10 pixel here. So when you've done with that thing here I'll be writing like margin left which should be 10 pixel, and when you've done that I'll be writing margin right which should be 10 pixel, create that to margin top 10 pixel here, and I'll be also writing that to like margin bottom 10 pixel. So when you've done that all things, just I'll be doing one thing, like simply I'll be going to file, pressing save button to just save that thing there, and when you've done that just I'll be simply going to app.js, and you can see till here we have defined that things there. So I'll be just coming now here and then I'll be changing this to like in a small now. So here write array, then create that to version here, and here I'll be writing view. Then when you've done with that things I'll be just writing that to like view dot floor, then I'll be writing here like event. Then you have to just close here, and when you've done that all thing, just I'll be writing here like user, and then change that to again user equal array. Then you have to close here, and here when you've done that, this I'll be coming here again, create close dot user, and then here I'll be changing that to app. So when you've done that, close here again. Then here we have done that all things, so simply I'll be just going here and saving that, and now I'll be simply going to app.css here, and then I'll be just coming underneath now, and then I'll be doing one thing like here I'll be just writing dot, and now it is not a class which I'm writing dot, so here it is a tag, so I'll be writing a body tag here which I have to define now. So simply I'll be just coming underneath here, and then I'll be changing that to a tag which should be like justify content, which should be in center, and here I'll be also writing align items which should be in center. So when you done that, I'll be writing display which should be of block, create that to like text. Okay, so I'll be writing display of block, then I'll be changing that to like text align in center. So when you're done with that here, so I have to do one thing like rotate it to left, and here when you've done that, I'll be also writing that to like box size in border box, and here when you've done with that things, I'll be writing that to like justify content in center, and here when you've done that, I'll be writing align item in center here. So when you've done that, just I'll be changing that to display of block. So when you've done that, I'll be writing here another thing which should be like here. Now I'll be changing that to like here we have written that all things, so simply I'll be just coming here, and then I'll be changing this to like another tag which should be like here font style now which should be normal. So when you're done with that here, so simply I have to do one thing like I'll be running here creating text justify now. So here I'll be writing that inherit. So when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like font size which should be 15 pixel now. So here when you've done that, I'll be writing font weight which should be 500, create that to like font family which should be font serial, and I'll be writing comma sans serif. And when you've done that, I'll be writing border one page solid white, and here when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like border color white, and here I'll be also writing that to like color black, and right here like border radius 10 pixel, and here when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like border left 100 pixel, and create that to like border right which should be 100 pixel, and here I'll be writing border top 100 pixel, and when you've done that, I'll be writing border bottom which should be also 100 pixels. So when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like another tag which should be like border, and change that to like border style none, and here I'll be also writing that to like border width which should be 100 pixels. And when you're done with that here, so simply I'll be doing one thing like line height now here, so I'll be writing line height 100 pixel, and create width which should be 100 pixel, and when you've done that, I'll be writing that to height 100 pixel, create that to like border none here. So simply I'll be just coming here and writing that, and here I'll be writing outline none, and when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like list style which should be none. So when you've done that, I'll be writing list style type which should be none. So here we have done that all things, so I'll be writing here another thing which should be like flex direction column, create that to flex tab which should be tab reverse, and when you've done that, I'll be writing flex flow column. So when you've done that, I'll be writing flex grow also inherit, and here when you've done that, I'll be writing flex shrink inherit. So when you've done that, I'll be only writing direction inherit, create that to like background which should be white. Simply I'll be also writing that to like background color which should be white. So when you're done with that here, simply I'll be writing that to like background position in center, and here I'll be also writing that to like background position dash x which should be in center. So when you're done with that here, I'll be just writing that to like background position dash y which should be in center. So simply write here like that. So when you've done that, I'll be now writing that to like background attachment which should be fixed, and when you've done that all thing, just I'll be now writing background size cover, and here I'll be also changing that to like background, change that to background clip content box, then I'll be writing that to like background origin now. So simply write that content box, then I'll be also writing that to like background, change that to background, and write it to like background repeat which should be repeat. Here I'll be also writing that to like background blend mode simply which should be color burn. So when you've done with that here, I'll be just coming now and creating background image and changing that to URL of like background dot background1.jpg. So simply I'll be going to talk. Okay, so it was just background one, so here we have written here. So simply I'll be coming creating nav index now which should be current, and then I'll be also writing like nav left which should be current, create that to like nav right, which should be current. So when you've done with that thing here, I'll be doing one thing like I'll be writing nav of current, and here I'll be also doing one thing like I'll be just coming underneath here and changing that to like nav, and change that to like nav down, which should be current. So when you're done with that things here, I'll be just coming underneath, changing that to like padding, which should be 12, 15 pixel, create padding left, which should be also 15 pixel here. So when you've done that, I'll be writing padding top, which should be 15 pixel, and create that to like padding right, which should be 15 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing padding bottom, which should be 15 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing margin 10 pixel, and create that to like margin left, which should be 10 pixel. And here I'll be also writing that to like margin right, which will be 10 pixel, create margin top, which should be 10 pixel. And here I'll be also writing that to like margin bottom 10 pixel. So when you've done with that, go to file, press save, and it is done. So when you've done with that, just go to app.js file again. Then here I'll be just copying my class name, which is just coming here, which is called app. So here I'll be just copying that here, just I'll be selecting that, then I'll be pressing Ctrl C, and now it is done. So when you've done with that here, so simply I'll be doing one thing like I'll be just going to app.css here, then I'll be just coming underneath writing dot, because it is a class, and I'll be pasting my class name which I have just copied. Now when you've done that, just I'll be writing this curly brackets coming underneath, creating justify content, which should be in center. And when you've done that, I'll be writing align items, which should be in center. And when you've done that, I'll be also changing that to like display, which should be on block. And here I'll be changing that to like text align in center. So when you've done with that here, I'll be just writing that to like another thing, which should be just like load into left. And when you're done with that here, I'll be changing that to a tag, which should be box sizing, which should be border box. So here when you've done that, I'll be just coming underneath and creating that to like another tag, which should be just having font style normal. So here I'll be writing, so when you've done that, I'll be writing text justify here. So I'll be just writing that text justify, which should be inherit, and I'll be changing that to like another thing, which should be font size 12 pixel, create font weight, which should be now 600, and create that to like font family, which should be Mont Serif. So here I'll be writing that to like font family Mont Serif, comma sans serif. Now when you've done that, I'll be writing border 1 pic solid white here. So I'll be writing, so when you've done with that here, I'll be writing border color, which should be white. So when you've done that, I'll be writing color, which should be black. So when you've done that, I'll be writing border radius, which should be 10 pixel, and here I'll be writing that to like border left, which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done that, I'll be writing border right 100 pixel. So when you've done with that thing there, I'll be just coming here, creating border top, which should be 100 pixel, and I'll be writing that to like border bottom 100 pixel. So when you've done that, I'll be changing this to like border style, which should be none. So when you've done that all thing, just I'll be writing that to like border width 100 pixel, and here I'll be also writing that to like border, and I'll be changing that to like line height now, because now border has been defined. So I'll be writing line height, which should be 100 pixel, width also 100 pixel. So I'll be just defining that, and I'll be also writing the height, which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done that, now I'll be writing that to like border none, and I'll be also writing like outline none. And when you're done with that things there, I'll be simply coming now and changing this to like another tag, which should be list style none. So when you're done with that here, simply I'll be writing list style type, which should be none. So here I'll be also writing that to like flex direction, which should be column, and then I'll be also writing that to like flex wrap, which should be wrap reverse. So here when you're done with that here, so I'll be writing flex flow. So simply I'll be writing that to like flex flow column, create flex, change that to flex basis content, and create flex grow. So here I'll be writing flex grow, which should be inherit. And when you've done that, so I'll be writing that to like flex shrink inherit. So when you've done that, I'll be writing direction inherit. So when you've done that, just I'll be changing that to like background, which should be white, and change that to like background position, which should be white center. Okay, so here when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like background position dash x, which should be center. Okay, so just right here like that. So when you're done with that here, simply I'll be changing that to like background position dash y, which should be center. So when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing like I'll be writing that to like background attachment, which should be fixed, and here I'll be also writing that to like background, and change that to background size cover. And when you've done with that here, I'll be just writing that to like background clip. So here I'll be writing that content box, then I'll be also writing that to like background origin, which should also be content box. So So when you're done with that, here simply I'll be writing here like background repeat, which will be repeat. So when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like background blend mode, which should be color burn. So when you're done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background image, and here I'll be writing the URL of like background, and here I'll be just going to top, and you can see there is certain background one. So simply I'll be writing that to like background 2.jpg. So when you've done that, I'll be just coming underneath, creating nav and text, which should be current. And when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like nav left, which should be current. Create that to like nav right, which should be current. And here I'll be also writing that to like nav up current. And when you're done with that, here I'll be also writing that to like nav down, which should be current. So when you're done with that, here I'll be writing padding, which should be 10 pixel, and create that to like padding left, which should be 10 pixel here. And when you've done that, I'll be writing padding right here, which should be 10 pixel. And when you're done with that, here I'll be writing padding top 10 pixel. So here I'll be writing padding bottom here, so I'll be just writing that to 10 pixel. And here I'll be writing margin 11 pixel, and I'll be also writing that to like margin left 11 pixel. Create that to like margin right, which should be 11 pixel here. So when you've done that, I'll be writing margin top 11 pixel, and here I'll be writing margin bottom, which should be 11 pixel. So when you've done with that things, there you have to do one thing now, like I'll be just coming underneath here, and then I'll be just doing one thing, like I'll be going to here, and then I'll be copying this filter here by pressing Ctrl C here. Then when you've done with that, here just go, you have to go to app.css, write dot, and paste your class name which you have just copied. So when you've done with that all things, just I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be writing this curly brackets coming underneath and creating that to like justify content, which will be in center. And here I'll be writing that to like align items, which should be in center. And when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like display, which should be on block, create node in left, and also create text align in center. So when you've done with that things, there you have to do one thing, like I'll be coming underneath, and here I'll be changing that to like box sizing border box. Then I'll be just coming here again and creating that to like font style, which should be normal. And here when you've done that, I'll be writing text justify. Here I'll be just coming and writing that to like text justify, which should be inherit. And we have done that also, so I'll be just coming here now again. Then I'll be changing this to a tag, which should be just like font size here. So I'll be writing here to like font size, which should be 14 pixel. Create font weight here, which should be like 500. And I'll be also writing that to like font family now, which should be like font serial. So when you've done that, I'll be writing comma sans serif, and when you've done that, I'll be writing border 1 pix solid white. So here when you've done that all things, so I'll be writing like border color, which should be white. So when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like color black. So here when you've done with that thing, there I'll be writing border radius 10 pixel and creating that to like border left 100 pixel, and creating that to like border right also, which should be 100 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing border top, which should be 100 pixel now. So when you've done that, I'll be writing border bottom, which should be 100 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like border style none. So when you've done that, I'll be writing border width, which should be 100 pixel here. So when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like border, change that to like border style, which should be like here. First of all, I'll be writing line height now. So here I'll be writing line height 100 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing width 100 pixel and create height, which should be 100 pixel. And here when you've done with that thing, I'll be coming underneath here, creating border, which should be none. Create here to like outline none. And when you've done with that, here I'll be writing list style, which should be none. So when you've done that, I'll be writing list style type, which should be none. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing list style, which we have already done. Now I'll be changing that to like flex direction, which should be column. So here when you've done with that thing, there I'll be writing flex wrap, which should be wrap reverse. So here when you've done that all things, so I'll be writing flex flow, which should be column. Then create flex basis content, create flex grow here, which should be inherit. Create flex string, which should be inherit. Create direction, which should be inherit. So when you're done with that thing, there I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be coming underneath, creating background, which should be white. And here I'll be also writing that to like background color, which should be white. And when you're done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background position in center. And here when you've done that, I'll be writing background position dash x, which should be in center. And here when you've done that, so I'll be writing that to like background position y, which should be also in center. So So when you're done with that thing, there I'll be writing background size cover, and here I'll be also writing that to like background attachment which should be fixed. And here when you're done with that, here I'll be writing background clip content box create, another tag which should be like background origin which should be content box. So simply when you've done that, I'll be writing background repeat which should be repeat. Here I'll be also writing like background blend mode which should be color burn, so simply write that. So when you're done with that things, here I'll be coming underneath and creating that to like background, change that to background blend which we have already done. Now I'll be writing background image having the URL of like background, and if I just go to the top here, so you can see there's written background 2, so simply I'll be writing background 3.jpg, close that, and here I'll be writing like nav that's current. Then when you're done with that thing, where I'll be writing that to like nav left which should be current. When you've done that, I'll be writing here to like nav right which should be current, but here I'll be just coming here and writing that. So when you've done that, I'll be writing nav up current here, so I'll be just writing that. And when you've done that, I'll be writing nav down which should be current. So here when you've done that, I'll be just coming underneath and creating that to like padding 12 pixel, and here I'll be just writing one thing like padding left which should be 12 pixel, and writing that to like padding right which should be 12 pixel. And here when you've done that, I'll be writing padding top 12 pixel, and here I'll be also writing that to like padding bottom 12 pixels. So when you've done that, I'll be coming underneath and creating that to like margin 10 pixel, and create that to like margin left which should be 10 pixel, create margin right which should be 10 pixel. And when you've done that, I'll be writing margin top 10 pixel, and create that to like margin bottom. So simply I'll be writing margin bottom which should be 10 pixel. So when you've done with that things, there I'll be doing one thing like simply I'll be just saving that by going to file, pressing save button. I'll be simply going to app.js file. Now I'll be copying this one clause which is called area, so just copy that by pressing Ctrl C. Then you have to go to app.css, and now when you've done that, I'll be just coming underneath here, then I'll be writing dot and pasting my class name which I've just copied. Now I'll be just writing this curly brackets and coming underneath and writing that to like justify here. So just write here like justify content which should be in center, and here when you've done that, I'll be writing align items which should be in center, and just write here like display which should be of log, create here float into left. And here I'll be writing another thing like I'll be just Ctrl V, I'll be pressing coming underneath creating text align in center, then I'll be changing this to like float into left. And when you've done that, I'll be just writing that to like box sizing border box here, so simply I'll be raising from here now. So when you've done with that, I'll be writing that to like font style normal here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing text justify now, so here I'll be writing that which should be inherit. So when you've done that, just I'll be pressing backspace here, then I'll be just saving that by going to file and pressing save. And when you've done that, just you have to do another thing like, so now you can see we have just defined till text justify. Now I'll be doing one thing like I'll be just coming underneath here, and then I will be just changing this tag to like, now just right here font size which should be like 15 pixel, create that to, first of all I'll be just closing that here, then I'll be writing 15 pixel, create that to like font weight which should be like 500, and when you've done that, just change that to like font family, but it should be just like dash, then write that which should be like Montserrat, and it should also be like comma sans serif. Okay, so just right here. So when you're done with that things, here I'll be just coming now and changing that to like border which should be one big solid white, and here I'll be changing that to like border color which should be white, right here like color which should be black. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing border radius which should be 10 pixel. So when you've done with that, here I'll be changing that to like border left 100 pixel, create that to like border right which should be 100 pixel, and when you've done with that, here change that to like border top which should be 100 pixel, and here I'll be also writing that to like border bottom which should be like 100 pixel. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be now coming change that to like border style which should be none, and here I'll be writing that to like border width also which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done that, I'll be writing line height 100 pixel, change that to like width, so here I'll be writing that 100 pixel, and right here like another thing which should be height 100 pixels. When you've done with that things, you can see we have defined that. So here I'll be just coming underneath, changing that to like border none, and here I'll be writing that to like outline which should be none, create that to like list style which should be none, and here I'll be changing that to like list style type which should be none. So when you've done with that thing, here simply I'll be coming underneath creating flex direction which should be column. So here when you've done that, just right here like flex left which should be wrap reverse. So here I'll be writing that. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like flex flow column. And here I'll be just changing that to a tag which should be like flex spaces content. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like flex flow, which should be like we have already defined that. So here I'll be just coming now, and then I will be just changing that to like flex, and then right here to like flex wrap, which we have defined. So here I'll be writing flex shrink inherit create direction, which should be inherit. But before that, I'll be defining flex grow also, which should be like inherit here. So when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like direction, which should be inherit. So here when you've done with that thing, simply I'll be doing one thing now. Here I'll be just coming underneath, changing that to like background, and just write that to white. But before that, I'll be doing one thing like coming underneath here again, changing that to like background color, which should be white. And here I'll be writing that to like background position here, which should be in center. And here we have done that. So simply I'll be just coming underneath, create background position dash X, which should be in center. And here when you've done that all things, so here I'll be just coming here, writing that to like background position dash Y, which should be in center. Then write that to like background attachment, which should be fixed. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing background size, which should be cover. And we have done that all things. So here I'll be just coming now, changing that to like background repeat, which should be repeat. And here I'll be just coming, changing that to like background clip content box. Right here like background origin, which should also be content box. So here when you've done with that thing, simply write that to like background blend mode here, which should be color burn. So when you've done with that here, simply I'll be doing one thing now, write that to like background, change that to a tag, which should be like background image, having the URL of like background. And if I just move to top here, so just I'll be going to top. So you can see there it is written background 3.jpg. So here I'll be just coming now, writing that to like background 4.jpg now, because the 3.jpg was just written at the top. Now just I'll be coming underneath, writing nav index current. And here I'll be also writing that to like nav left here, simply which should be current. And when you've done with that, here I'll be changing that to like nav right, which should be current. And when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, change that to like nav up current. And when you've done with that thing, there I'll be writing nav down current. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, change that to like padding 12 pixel, create padding left. So here I'll be writing that to like padding left 12 pixel. And here when you've done that, I'll be writing padding right, which will also be 12 pixel, change that to like padding top 12 pixel. And here I'll be writing that to like padding bottom 12 pixel. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing margin 10 pixel, create that to like margin left, which should be 10 pixel, and write that to like margin right, which should be 10 pixel. And when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing margin top, which should be 10 pixel, and just write that to like margin bottom. So simply I'll be writing that to like 10 pixel. So when you've done with that things here, I'll be doing one thing like just going to file, pressing save to just save that things. And when you've done that, you can see till area we have just defined. So here I'll be just moving to this app.js, and you can see after area we are just having another class name which is called this floor. So I'll be just copying this floor class name here by pressing Ctrl C. Now when you've done that, just go to app.css file here. Then here I will be just coming underneath, and after it I'll be writing dot and pasting the class name which I have just copied, writing this curly brackets here. But before that, I'll be not giving space, and here also simply just close this. Then I'll be here also not giving space, and at the top here also, and the end here. So when you've done with that thing, simply I'll be just doing one thing now. Here I'll be just coming underneath. If I just do that here, if I just come here, so if I just press enter now, so you can see we are just in second line. So here I'll be now first of all writing that to like justify content, which will be in center. And when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like align items, simply which will be in center. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing that to like display block. And when you've done that, just write here like text align in center, and just write that to like float in left. And just when you've done with that, here I'll be writing that to like box sizing, which should be border box. When you've done that, just I'll be changing that to like font style normal. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like text justify inherit. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like font size, which should be 14 pixel, create that to like font weight, which should be 500. And when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like font family, which should be font serif, comma sans serif. So when you've done that all things, so here I'll be writing that to like border one text solid white, and here when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like border color which should be white, and here I'll be writing that to like color black. So when you've done that, I'll be writing border radius 10 pixel, and here I'll be just writing that to like border left which should also be 100 pixel, and when you've done with that, here I'll be writing border right 100 pixel, change that to like border top now which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done with that, simply write that to like border, and write that to like border bottom now. So here I'll be writing that simply which should be like 100 pixel again. So when you've done that, just create that to like border style which should be none, and here I'll be writing that to like border width which should be 100 pixel, create that to like line height which should be also 100 pixel, create width which should be 100 pixel, and here I'll be writing height 100 pixel. So when you've done with that, here write that to like border none, create that to like outline which should be none. So when you've done that, I'll be writing list style which should be none. So when you've done that, just change that to like list style type none. So here I'll be writing that, so just simply write here, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing that to like flex direction which should be like column. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing flex wrap which should be wrap reverse. So here I'll be writing that, and when you've done with that, here I'll be writing flex row column, create flex basis which should be content, and create that to flex grow inherit. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be coming and changing that to flex shrink inherit right direction which should also be inherit. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background white, and when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like background color which should be white. Here change that to like another thing which should be background position now. So simply I'll be writing that which should be like center, and when you've done that, just change that to like background position dash X. So here I'll be writing that which should be in center, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like background position dash Y which should be in center. So simply write that, and when you've done with that, so I'll be writing that to like background attachment which should be fixed, and here I'll be writing that to like background size cover. So here I'll be writing, so when you've done with that, here I'll be writing background clip. So just write that to like background clip content box, then I'll be writing that to like background origin which should be content box, then change that to like background repeat which should be repeat, and here when you've done that, just I'll be writing background blend mode which should be color burn. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be coming underneath, create that to like background image having the URL of like this, and then I'll be writing that to like background, and here I'll be just coming and then I'll be just changing that to like background, and here when you've done with that things, if I just go to the top, you can see there it is written background 4.jpg. So simply I'll be writing background 5.jpg, then I'll be writing nav index current, and here when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like nav left which will be current, change that to like nav right current, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing nav up which will be current. So here I'll be just writing that. So when you've done with that things, I'll be doing one thing like I'll be writing nav down which will be current. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be just doing one thing now, coming underneath writing padding 14 pixel. So just write that, and here I'll be writing that to like padding left 14 pixel, and then I'll be also writing that to like padding right 14 pixel, and write that to like padding top which will be like 14 pixel. So when you're done with that, here I'll be writing padding bottom which will be 14 pixel, and write that to like margin 11 pixel. Here change that to like margin left which will be 11 pixel, and then I'll be also writing that to like margin right 11 pixel. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing margin top 11 pixel, and then write that to like margin bottom which should be 11 pixel. So you can see we have just done with that thing. Simply I'll be going to file, pressing save icon, and you can see now it is good to go. So simply I'll be going to app.js file again, copy this random class now after that by pressing Ctrl C, and when you've done that, just move to your file which is called app.css. Then I'll be coming underneath here, writing dot, and just I'll be pasting my class name which I have just copied. Write this curly brackets and come underneath here, and then change that to a tag which will be like justify content center, and here I'll be writing that to like align items simply. So here I'll be writing that. Here I'll be just writing align items in center, create another tag which will be like display log. Just write that to like text align in center, and when you've done that, just change that to like another tag which should be float in left, change that to a tag which should be box sizing border box, and when you've done that, just create font style normal here. So I'll be just writing that, and when you've done that, I'll be just doing one thing now. Here I'll be just writing that to like text justify, which should be inherit, and when you've done that, I'll be writing font size, which should be like 14 pixel. Create that to like font weight, which should be like 500, and when you're done with that things, here I'll be writing font family, which should be like font serif, which should be comma sans serif, and when you've done that, I'll be writing border 1 pic solid white, and here I'll be also changing that to like border color, which should be just white here. So when you've done that, write that to like color black, and when you've done that, I'll be writing border left, which should be 100 pixel, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing border right, which should be 100 pixel, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing border top 100 pixel here. Create that to like border bottom 100 pixel. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing that to like border radius, which should be 10 pixel here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing border left 100 pixel, but we have just already done that thing. So here I'll be just coming now, then here I'll be just changing that to like border style none. Create that to like another tag, which should be like border. Change that to like border width 100 pixel. Create line height, which should be 100 pixel. Change that to width 100 pixel now. Then create height 100 pixel, and when you done that, I'll be writing that to like border none. Create that to like outline, which should be none, and when you're done with that things, here I'll be writing list style, which should be none, and when you're done with that, here I'll be writing that to like list style type none. So when you've done that, I'll be writing flex direction, which should be column. So here when you've done that all things, so here I'll be writing flex ref, which should be ref reverse, and here I'll be writing flex flow, which should be like column. So here I'll be just doing one thing, like I'll be writing column. So when you've done that, just change that to flex basis content, and then I'll be changing that to like flex, and change that to like flex row inherit. So when you've done with that, here I'll be changing that to flex string inherit. Create direction, which should be inherit. So when you've done that, I'll be changing that to another tag, which should be background of white, and when you've done with that, here I'll be writing background color, which should be white here. So simply I'll be writing that. So when you're done with that, here I'll be writing background position, which should be in center, and when you're done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background position, which should be like X, which should be in center, and when you're done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background position dash Y, which should be in center. So when you've done that, I'll be coming here, writing that to like background attachment, which should be fixed, and here when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing, like coming underneath, changing that to like background size cover, and when you've done that, I'll be doing another thing, which will be like background origin content box. Create background clip, which should also be content box. So here when you've done that, I'll be changing that to like background, and change that to another thing, which will be like background repeat, which will be repeat. Here write that to like background blend mode, which should be color burn. So when you've done with that thing, there I'll be coming underneath, change that to like background image, and here I'll be writing the URL of like background. So simply just write that to like background, and here if I just move to top, you can see there it is written like background 5. So simply I'll be changing that to background snips.jpg. Just close here, then I'll be writing that to like nav index current, and when you've done that, just change that to like nav left, which will be current, and here I'll be moving and closing that. Right here nav right, which will be current. Change that to like nav of current, and when you've done that, just write here nav down current. So when you've done that, just write that to like another thing, which will be like padding 15 pixel. Create padding left. So here I'll be writing that to like padding left, which should be also 15 pixels. So just I'll be writing that, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing that to like padding right, which should be 15 pixel. Create padding top 15 pixel, and move that to like bottom. Right here like padding bottom 15 pixel. Now just write margin 10 pixel. Create margin left, which should be 10 pixel, and here when you're done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing now, just write that to like margin right, which should be 10 pixel here. So when you're done with that, simply write that to like margin top 10 pixel, and just write that to like margin bottom, which should be 10 pixel. So when you're done with that, just go to file and press save here. So when you've done that, just go to app.js file again, copy this navbar class, which we have just written by pressing Ctrl C. If I just move here, you can see it is good here. Okay, so this I'll be scrolling down, coming underneath, writing dot, pasting my class name which I've just copied, writing curly brackets, coming underneath here, writing justify content. So just write here like justify content in center, and when you've done that, just create that to like align items in center, create display which should be of block, and also create that to like text align in center. And when you've done that, just write that to another tag which should be like another tag which should be box sizing border box. And when you're done with that, here I'll be writing float in left. And when you're done with that things, here I'll be just changing that to like, first of all I'll be closing that, then here I'll be writing font style normal. So here when you've done that, just I'll be writing like that, but before I'll be writing normal. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like text justify now. So here I'll be writing text justify inherit. And when you've done that, just change that to like font size which should be 14 pixel, create that to like font weight which should be 500, create font family which should be like font zenith here, which should be comma sans serif. And when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing that to like border one thick solid white, and here I'll be also changing that to like border color white. And when you've done that, just change that to like color black. And when you've done that, just write here like border radius 10 pixel, and then I'll be writing border left which will be like 100 pixel. And when you've done that, just change that to like border right 100 pixel, and then write that to like border top 100 pixel. And then when you're done with that things, here I'll be coming underneath, create border bottom which will be 100 pixel, and then I'll be changing that to like border style none. And here I'll be writing border width which will be 100 pixels. So here I'll be writing that. And when you done that, change that to like line height 100 pixel, create that to a tag which will be like width 100 pixel, create height which will be 100 pixel. And when you done that, just write that to like border none, create that to another tag which will be outline none, change that to like list style which will be none. And when you're done with that, here I'll be writing list style type which will be none. So here I'll be writing list style type none. So when you're done with that thing, here I'll be writing like flex direction which will be column. So here when you've done that, just I'll be writing flex ref which will be wrap reverse. And when you've done that, just change that to like flex row column, create flex basis which should be content, create flex row inherit. And when you've done that, just change that to flex shrink here which should be inherit. So when you've done that, just write here direction inherit, and just I'll be also writing that to like background white. So when you've done with that thing, there I'll be writing that to like background color which will be white. And when you've done that, just change that to like background position which will be center. And when you've done that all things, so here I'll be writing that to like background position dash x which will be center. So just when you've done that, I'll be writing that to like background position, and then here I'll be changing that to like y which will be in center. So here I'll be giving gap, then I'll be writing, now here I'll be also writing another tag which will be like background attachment fixed, and here I'll be writing that to like background size which should be covered. And when you're done with that, here I'll be writing background clip content box, write that to like background origin which will be content box, and then I'll be changing that to like background repeat which should be repeat. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing background, and then I'll be changing that to background blend mode color burn. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing background, and here I'll be just changing that to background image having the URL here. So just I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be writing that to like here, simply I'll be writing that brackets, and I'll be just now writing background. And if I just go to the top, you can see there it is written background 6. So here I'll be writing background 7.jpg, close here, and then I'll be writing nav current, then I'll be writing that to like nav left which will be current, change that to like nav right current. And when you've done with that, here I'll be writing nav up current, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing nav down which should be current. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing padding which should be 15 pixel, create padding left 15 pixel, and here I'll be also writing that to a tag which should be like padding right. So here I'll be writing that padding right 15 pixel, and then I'll be writing padding top 15 pixel, and just I'll be writing that to like padding bottom 15 pixel. Now here I'll be changing that to margin 11 pixel, create margin left which should also be 11 pixel, and then I'll be changing that to like margin right 11 pixel right here, margin top 11 pixel, and then I'll be changing that to like margin bottom 11 pixel. So when you've done with that thing there, simply I'll be just going to file and pressing save, and you can see we have just done with that things here. Simply I'll be going to app.js file now. Then I'll be just copying this class which is called class, so just pressing Ctrl C, and then I'll be just going to app.css file, and then I'll be just coming underneath, writing dot and pasting my class name which I have just copied now. And you can see till here we have just defined many things which we have to just define here. Okay, so I'll be just coming underneath, writing curly brackets, coming underneath here again, writing here like justify content center, right here like align item. So now I'll be writing align item in center, then create that to like display which will be of block, and just write that to like text align in center. So just when you're done with that things here, I'll be writing that to like load which will be in left. So when you're done with that here, I'll be writing box sizing border box, then I'll be just doing one thing like I'll be writing font style normal, and then create that to like text justify inherit. So simply I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing that to like font size which will be 14 pixel, create font weight 600, then I'll be also writing that to like font family which will be open sans, comma, sans serif. So simply I'll be just writing that to like comma sans serif. Now when you've done that, just write here like border 16 solid white. So simply when you've done with that here, I'll be writing, then I'll be writing that to like border color white, write that to like color which will be black. So here I'll be writing that to like color black, then change that to like border radius 10 pixel, and right here like border left which will be 100 pixel, and when you've done that, just change that to like border right 100 pixel, and write that to like border top which will be like 100 pixel. So when you've done with that things here, I'll be doing one thing now, just coming underneath, writing that to like border bottom 100 pixel, and then I'll be changing that to like border width or border style first of all none, then I'll be writing border width 100 pixel, and then I'll be writing that to like line height 100 pixel, and then I'll be writing width which will be like 100 pixel, and I'll be writing height 100 pixel. So when you've done with that here, I'll be coming writing that to like border none, and then I'll be also writing that to like outline none, and when you've done that, just write here like list style none, and then change that to like list style type none. So when you've done with that here, simply write flex direction which will be column. So when you've done that, just write here flex tab which will be tab reverse, and when you've done that, just write that to like flex flow column, create flex spaces content, and when you've done that, just change that to like another thing which should be flex flow inherit, and when you've done with that here, I'll be writing flex shrink here inherit. So when you've done that, just write that to like direction inherit, then I'll be changing that to like background white, and here I'll be changing that to like background color which will be white, and here I'll be also writing that to like background position in center, and then when you're done with that here, I'll be writing background position dash x which will be in center. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like background position dash y here. So here I'll be writing that to in center. So when you've done that, just write that to like background attachment which will be 6, and when you've done that, just write that to like background size which will be cover. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, and then I'll be changing that to like background clip content box, write that to like background origin which should also be content box here. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing background repeat which will be repeat here. So here I'll be writing. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like background, change that to a tag which should be background blackboard here simply which will be color bar. So when you've done with that here, I'll be doing one thing now, coming and changing that to like background image, having the URL of like background, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving to top, and you can see there it is written background 7. So here I'll be writing background 8.jpg, close here, come underneath and write nav index current, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like nav left current, and then I'll be writing nav right which will also be current, and when you've done that, just change that to like nav up current. So when you've done that, just write nav down which should be current here. So when you've done that, just change that to like padding 10 pixel, and then I'll be writing that to like padding left which should also be 10 pixel. So when you're done with that thing there, I'll be writing padding right which should be 10 pixel, and here I'll be writing that to like another thing which should be padding top 10 pixels. So when you're done with that here, I'll be writing Adding bottom now, which should be 10 pixel, and when you're done with that, here I'll be writing margin 12 pixel, create margin left, which should be 12 pixel. So here I'll be writing. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like margin right 12 pixel, create margin top 12 pixel, create that to like margin bottom, which should be 12 pixel. So when you've done that, just go to file and press save, and you can see now it has been saved. So I'll be going to my app.js file again, copying this new class which is just written by pressing Ctrl C, go to app.css file, then I'll be just coming underneath, writing dot, pasting my class name which I have just copied, write this curly brackets coming underneath here, writing justify content in center, write that to like align item in center, write display which should be of block, and when you've done that, just change that to like text align in center, create float in left, and here I'll be also writing that to like box sizing border box here. So when you've done with that, simply I'll be doing one thing like font style normal, and here I'll be doing one thing like text justify, which should be inherit, and when you've done with that, here I'll be doing one thing now, coming underneath create font size which should be like 15 pixel, and write that to like font weight 500, and then I'll be changing that to like font family which should be like non-serif. So here I'll be writing that which should be comma sans serif, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing border one pic solid white here. So simply I'll be writing that, and when you've done with that, here simply I'll be doing one thing now, coming underneath writing border color white, and here I'll be writing color black. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing border left 100 pixel, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing border right 100 pixel, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing border top 100 pixel, create border bottom which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done that, just I'll be first of all doing one thing like coming underneath writing border, change that to like border radius 10 pixel, and then I'll be writing border, and then write it to like border style none. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like border width 100 pixel, create line height. So here I'll be writing that to like line height simply. So just write that to like 100 pixel, create here to like width 100 pixel, then here I'll be also writing height 100 pixel, right here border which will be none, and here I'll be writing outline none. So when you've done that, just write here like list style none, and here I'll be writing that to like list style type which will be none. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like another thing which will be border none, and then I'll be writing that to like outline none. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing list style none. So just I'll be coming underneath creating list style none, create list style type none, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like flex direction which will be column, create flex wrap which will be like wrap reverse, and when you've done that, just change that to like flex flow column, create flex basis content, create flex grow inherit, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be writing flex shrink inherit. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing direction inherit. So when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be coming here writing background which should be white, and then here I'll be just writing that to like background color which should be white, and when you've done that all things, so here I'll be writing that to like background position center, and here I'll be writing that to like background position dash X which will be in center, and then when you're done with that thing, here I'll be writing background position dash Y which will be in center, and here when you're done with that, here I'll be writing background attachment which will be fixed, and when you're done with that thing, here I'll be writing background size cover. So when you're done with that, here simply I'll be just writing that to like background clip content box, create background origin which will be content box. Now when you've done with that, here I'll be doing one thing now, just coming here again, create background repeat which will be repeat. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming and writing that to like background blend mode which will be color band. So here I'll be writing, then I'll be also writing that to like background image, and here I'll be writing the URL of like background, and then if I go to the top, you can see there it is written background page. So right here background 9.jpg, and here I'll be writing nav index current, and then write that to like nav left which will be current. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing nav right which will be current, create that to like nav up current, and right here nav down, which should also be current. When you've done with that, here I'll be writing that to like padding 11 pixel, create padding left, which should also be 11 pixel here. And when you've done that, right here another thing which should be like padding right 11 pixel, create padding top 11 pixel, create that to like padding bottom 11 pixel. So when you've done that, just write that to like margin 12 pixel, create margin left 12 pixel, and also write that to like margin right 12 pixel, and then I'll be writing that to like margin top 12 pixel, and here I'll be writing margin bottom 12 pixel. So when you've done that, just go to file and press save button, and now we have just saved that all things. And now when you've done with that, just you have to do one thing, like first of all go to the top and we'll check through the top like our thing is good or not. So just I'll be going to top. Okay, so now you can see everything is just perfect till here. You can see we are getting this icon also. If I scroll down, body tag and this app class, then filter class, we are also getting area class and floor class, then we are getting random class, navbar class, and we are also getting class, and then we are getting view class. And if I just scroll down, you can see view class was the last one. So here till here we have done. And now when you've done that, just you have to do another thing, like so. Now here you can see till here we have defined till margin bottom. Now I'll be just going to my app.js file, and simply we have just defined till view. Now I'll be copying this array class which is just written by pressing Ctrl C. Now if I just move to this app.css, if I go to the top, you can see in this view we have just written view like that. So simply I'll be coming now underneath that, and then if I just come here, so I have to just write dot, because that one class which I have just made it for just after it. So simply I'll be pasting my class name which I have just copied. Now I will be writing here curly brackets and coming underneath, changing that to like justify content, which should be in center. So here I'll be writing that, and when you've done that, just write here like align items. So here I'll be writing that to like in center. So when you've done that all things, so here I'll be writing display, which should be a block, and just write that to like text align in center. So when you've done with that things here, I'll be doing one thing now. Just you have to come underneath, change that to like float into left, and here I'll be writing that to like box sizing, which should be border box. So when you've done that, just come underneath again, and then I'll be changing that to like font style normal. So just write that here. Now write that to like text justify. So here I'll be writing that to like text justify inherit. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to now background, and then in the background I'll be writing white, and then change that to like background color, which should be white. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing now, just coming underneath, writing that to background position in center, and here I'll be changing that to like background position dash X, which should be in center. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath here, writing that to like background attachment. But before that, I'll be doing one thing like closing that. Now here I'll be just coming, writing this dash and writing attachment, which should be fixed. Then here I'll be doing one thing now, just write here background size, which should be covered. So when you're done with that things, I'll be just doing one thing, coming underneath here, writing that to like background clip content box, and here I'll be also writing that to like background origin, which should be content box. And when you're done with that things, here I'll be writing that to like background repeat, which should be repeat. And here I'll be just coming and changing that to like background blend mode, which should be color burn. And when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, writing this to like background, change that to background image. Here I have written equal to, I have to write background image. Then in URL I'll be defining my URL, which should be in like string. So if I move to top, you can see there it is written background9.jpg. So simply I'll be writing that to like background.png simply. So when you've done with that, here I'll be just moving forward and coming underneath, writing that to like nav index current. So when you've done that, just I'll be changing that to like nav left current, and here I'll be also writing that to like nav right, which should be current. So when you've done with that thing, there I'll be just moving up and then writing that to like nav up current. Then if I just move here, so here I'll be writing that to like nav down current. Now here when you've done with that thing, simply I'll be just doing one thing now, coming underneath, writing here padding, which should be 15 pixel, right here like padding left, which should be same, and now the padding right should also be same, like 15 pixel. So when you've done that all things, now we have to define padding top 15 pixel, and right here like padding bottom, which should be 15 pixel. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing margin 11 pixel, create that to like margin left 11 pixel. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be changing that to like margin right 11 pixel, and just I'll be writing that to like margin top 11 pixel. So when you've done with that, Here I'll be changing that to like margin bottom 11 pixel. So here we have done that. Simply I'll be just coming here, going to file and pressing save icon. And now you can see we have just done with that things. And now when you've done that, just I'll be moving to this app.js file, and simply I'll be just coming underneath and making another like media. So just write that, then I'll be writing floor after that and changing this to like another tag which should be now I'll be writing random here. Then just I'll be closing that, and I'll be doing one thing now, making a curly bracket of starting. Then I'll be writing in that user.floor, and in that I'll be writing that to like event, you can say. So when you've done that, just I'll be closing this bracket here. Simply I'll be saving that and copying this random class which is just written here by pressing Ctrl C. Go to app.css and just you have to come underneath here, write DOS, paste your class name which you have just copied. Then I'll be writing curly brackets again, coming underneath, writing that to like justify content which should be in center. So just write that, and when you've done that, just write that to like align items which should be in center. So here when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing that to like display block, create float in left, and here I'll be also writing that to like text align in center. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like box sizing, this should be border box. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like font style normal. And when you've done that, just change that to like text justify, which should be like inherit. And when you've done with that thing, where I'll be now writing font size 14 pixel, create font weight, which should be like 500. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing font family, which should be like Montserrat, comma, sans serif. And when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, writing border 1 tick solid white, change that to like border color, which should be white. So when you've done with that here, simply I'll be doing one thing now, coming underneath, writing color, which should be black. So when you've done with that here, I'll be coming, writing here border radius 10 pixel, create that to a tag which will be like border left, which will be 100 pixel. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing border right, which should be 100 pixel. Change this to like border, change that to now another thing which should be border top 100 pixel. Then I'll be writing that to like border bottom, which should be 100 pixel. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming here, writing border style none. Then I'll be writing that to like border width, which should be 100 pixel. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like line height, which should be 100 pixel. Then when you've done with that thing, here I'll be now changing that to like width 100 pixel here, so just write that. And when you've done that, just I'll be also writing that to height 100 pixel. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing border none, and then I'll be also writing that to like outline none. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing list style, which should be none, and here I'll be also writing that to like list style type, which should be none. So when you've done that, just I'll be now changing this to a tag which should be flags direction column. So just write that here. Then I'll be changing that to like flags wrap now, which should be wrap reverse. And when you've done that, just change that to like flags flow now, which should be column. And here I'll be writing flags basis content, change that to flags grow, which should be inherit. And when you've done that, just change that to flag string inherit. So when you've done that, just I'll be changing that to direction inherit, and then I'll be just coming underneath, writing that to like background white, and here I'll be writing background color, which should be white. So when you've done that, just I'll be now changing that to background position, which should be in center. And when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing that to like background position dash X, which will be in center. And just when you've done with that, here write that to like background position dash Y in center. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be just coming, writing this to like background attachment, which should be fixed, and here I'll be writing simply. Then when you've done that, just change that to like another tag which should be like background size cover. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like background, and I'll be writing background origin, which should be content box, create background clip now, which should be content box. And when you've done with that, here I'll be writing that to like background repeat, which should be repeat. So when you've done that, all simply I'll be coming, writing that to like background blend mode color band. And when you've done with that thing, here I'll be just coming, writing that to like background image, which should be like having the URL. And if I just come here, I'll be writing that to like background. Then I'll be simply going to top, and you can see there it is written background. I'll be writing here like background 1.png. Simply I'll be closing that and coming underneath, writing nav index current. Then I'll be writing that to like nav left, which will be current. Then change that to like nav right, which will be like current. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing nav up, which will be current, and I'll be also changing that to like nav down current. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing that to like padding 12 pixel, create padding left, which should be 12 pixel. And when you've done with that, here I'll be writing padding right, which should be also 12 pixel, and when you're done with that thing, here I'll be writing padding top 12 pixel, and then changing that to like padding bottom 12 pixel. So when you're done with that things, here I'll be writing margin 10 pixel, create that to like margin left, which should also be 10 pixel, and then write that to like margin right 10 pixel. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be writing that to like margin top 10 pixel, then I'll be writing here like margin bottom 10 pixel. So when you've done with that thing, simply I'll be going to file and pressing save here. So now when you've done with that here, now if I just show you, our iMessage clone should be just ready. So now you can see we have to just, for doing that, you have to go to terminal, and you can also just do simply like that. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing like saving that here. Then if I just open my Google Chrome, and if I just open my iMessage clone here, press enter, and now it will be take some time, and you can see now your React Redux clone, means your React.js clone, this is now ready. You can see that iMessage clone. And now here if I just log out in that by pressing my email icon press, you can see now you are just log out, you are getting the, like you can see the iMessage icon at the starting, then the iMessage text written, and if I press sign in, then it will be showing you the accounts, but I think like it will be automatically sign in here, my because I've just already signed in with email here. So you can see automatically it is signed in because I'm just already using this email here. If I show you, so here if I write Google, so you can see this is the icon which I'm just using, means this email is I'm using. So because of that, it is automatically signed in that. So now you can see that we are just getting this thing. If I just hover on that, you can see we are also getting a hover effect. We are also getting the search, or you can say input box at the top. With the help of this search icon, we are also getting this logo with the help of Material UI, in which you can just write any of your chat name here. So you can just write here new chat, it is hello. So simply write big name, so you can just remember that, because if you write same name, so there are many things. So you can see there are many of the chat names here, so because of that it will be really difficult to find yours. But if you are just not using with any other name, so it will be just now really easy for you to just make. And if I just message anyone here, if I just open this, so you can see if I just come here and message here like hello, how are you? So if I do that, simply press enter, you can see it is popping up here. It is also showing the time, date here, and everything it is showing. So you can see how cool looking is that. And then if I just come here, you can also write when you will talk. So press enter, you can see it is popping up again with the help of your email. So like that you can just write, if I go to this and if I write here like what are you saying, press enter, you can see it is just coming what are you saying. So like that you can just build, and you can see we have just successfully built our iMessage clone in React.js. So you can also build your iMessage clone like that simply, and you can also include your own features and quality, from which you will be just having more practice of React.js clones and many other clones which you'll be making in future. And I am also making some of the projects of like AI and many others. You can check that out also, and data sciences project I'm also making, so check that out, because that will be also really helpful. If you want to learn Python, you can just go and check that out. And if you want to be a full stack developer, you can also check my channel, because in that I've just uploaded Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I've also uploaded React clones. And in future I'll be also uploading many other languages projects and clones there, and I hope you'll enjoy that. So just I'll be meeting you next project or clones for today. Goodbye.